Hi friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. This is Breathe and Budget, and my name is Taryn. So my husband and I, we have 3 daughters, and our goal right now is to have financial freedom by way of eliminating our debt, investing wisely, and creating generational wealth. So if that's of interest to you and you want to see how this process has worked for us, continues to work for us, or even when we struggle, then go ahead and join our tribe and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the like button too. Alright guys, so let's just take a couple deep breaths first before we begin. I think that it's something I am going to ensure happens for every video. I think it helps to calm my nerves a little bit because this is still a little nerve-wracking for me. So we are going to just take a couple of deep belly breaths. So not a costal type of breath where you're just filling your lungs. We are so used to breathing that way, but it's putting our body in a constant state of, I guess you could say stress, because I don't know, just try breathing big belly breaths, like filling your belly a few times, and then go back to your normal breathing, and it'll actually feel uncomfortable. So as you train yourself to take deeper, big belly breaths, you'll see the difference that it makes. It's definitely something that has helped me. So let's go ahead and just follow along. I use the 4-7-8 method, so breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and releasing for 8. Sometimes I'm so into the breath that I don't even count, or I lose count. So really just whatever feels good for you, whatever feels like you are taking an adequate breath and that you're not like forcing too much in or forcing too much out. So let's begin. Take just a couple normal cleansing breaths, and then let's breathe. Alright, I feel better. I feel calm, so that always helps. So this time around is going to be a little different. Normally I would cash stuff my weekly binder, my wallet, and then also if I'm cash stuffing anything else like high priority sinking funds or our holiday binder. But I'm going to focus in this video doing a check-in to see where we were at, how much we have spent, and then adding to my weekly binder and wallet, which I see these as an extension of each other. They're the same thing, as I've explained in previous videos. One stays at home in our safe so that my husband and I can both access it, and then my wallet, I will stuff a little bit in my wallet for on the go, because I do not like to carry too much cash on me. I would rather just use my card and then track my spending and deposit it back into the bank. The joy and the benefit, and yes, I do say joy, of cash stuffing this way though, even if I'm not going to pay in cash all the time, is psychologically speaking, when you see your money in cash form versus it sitting in a bank, it creates an awareness that you do not necessarily have with it being in a bank. You see the money leave. So when you are spending it, whether you're spending it in the store or you're pulling from it to pay yourself back because you did use your debit card or your credit card, you see the money leaving. When transactions happen in our bank, we don't see that. Yes, I check in with my account every day, start my day with coffee and my budget, but there is something different. It goes also along with the same philosophy that like pen to paper does something for you versus like typing it out. That's how I used to have to study, like Cornell notes or flashcards. There was just something about putting pen to paper, which is why I could not do the digital planning world like I thought I could. I am a pen to paper type of girl. It just does something for you. So I'm sure there's like a lot of studies behind that and like the concept and theory behind that, but there is magic in it, to say the least. So let's just do a quick check-in. So I do have my little, notebook to the side to see where we started. So like for my spending, we started with $120 in mine. So we have $50, $70, $90, $110, $111, $112. So I spent $8. So that's pretty good. Before this video, I actually pulled everything out of my wallet and I put it into the binder. Okay, so just so that I would have it all in one place. And then after I cash stuff, I will cash stuff both the wallet and the binder. But I just threw everything back in here. My husband started with the same, and he has 50, 70, 95, 96, 97, 98. So he spent a little bit more. He spent $22. I hope I'm doing the math right in my head. His bad habit envelope, we put 100. He doesn't have, I think he has 20 left. But I'm not going to pay mind to that. I just feel like that would be, for me, it's a touchy subject. So it is what it is, and I'm just going to leave it. I don't care. At this point, whatever he has to do, he has to do. So beauty. So I think that we started off with 40. We have 20, 30, 40. So I haven't touched it yet, per se, in terms of cash. But I do have my spending tracker, and I need to essentially go through and deposit some back into the bank. But I haven't decided whether I want to do that weekly or if I want to do that like bi-weekly or once a month. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I haven't decided. Dining out was rolled over. We didn't add anything. No, I'm sorry. That's date night. Dining out we started with 100. So we had 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 52. So we spent 48. That makes sense because when I cashed stuff for this, it was that day where I go to yoga and we wind up eating out generally like lunchtime. Pets, we started with 50, 20, 30, 40, 50, and we have 50 still. Our budget for the month is 100, and that is gone, and then some, because I forgot that we have our subscription for our cat Coco for Chewy.com. She is in a specialty food because she had, I think they were like bladder stones. I want to say bladder. I could be wrong on the word, where in the body, but I think it was bladder stones. And in order for her not to get that again, she has to be on a special diet. And it's literally 94 bags, or $94, not bags, 94 bags, $94 a bag. But it lasts a long time. But when it hits, that's a pretty expensive bag of food. And then our dog Sophie now is on a special diet, and it's a pretty small bag for $38. So we'll have to revisit our budget for that. I don't know if $100 a month will be sufficient, or it might be, but instead of pulling it and maybe putting it to the 1 month ahead I may need to roll it over to ensure that we always have enough to cover those larger expenses, because it's not like just walking into PetSmart and getting some crickets, which is really inexpensive. So for kids, we started with 50. We have 20, 30, 45. So we spent 5. This might sound harsh and people might judge me, but River did not get her allowance this past week, or at least not the full amount, because she honestly just was not interested in doing her chore, and I wasn't interested in fighting. I just knew that there would be an impact and a discussion to be had when the time came for an allowance and she didn't get the whole amount. So I think that, you know, those are like environmental consequences that hopefully will send the correct message. So for home, we started with 40, 20, 30, 40. So again, I'm adding more to this, but then I will be going through my spending and pulling because Sam's Club had the deal on the toilet paper again. So you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, you know, when that happens, I buy 2 packs. Even if I don't have the money, I buy the 2 packs, put it on my Sam's Club credit card, and then I pay it back. And we pay it off every month, so there's no interest. So I did that, and then we needed a laundry detergent, which I get from Sam's Club. It's their like eco something lavender. It's definitely a healthier alternative than to other name brand, and I won't say, but like name brand detergents. We're pretty sensitive, so it works for everyone in the house, which is great. So date night we didn't stuff. This was rolled over because in July was our anniversary, so we used the anniversary sinking fund. So we wound up not using this, and it is still the beginning of August, so we haven't had a date night. So we still have 100 and something, 110. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 110. So, hopefully that happens for August. And if it doesn't, it will roll over to September and maybe kind of group into something that him and I can do for my birthday separate from like dinner with the kids. So nails, we had stuffed 125. I go tomorrow, so I'm going to be adding more to this, but I have not touched this. My daughter, who normally goes with me to yoga and nails, is actually with her grandparents, so she will go next week. So yeah, I haven't been to yoga and nails alone in a while, and I'm gonna miss her. I really love doing that with her, but I figured this is actually a really nice opportunity. I get to go alone. You know, my husband will have the other 2, and I get to go alone. So I don't know. So that's the check-in. I don't know why I'm closing the binder, guys, because we're gonna stuff it. Maybe because I was really thinking about like tomorrow and that alone time, and I'm like, let's go. So that could be why. All right. So let's see. Let's get this stuff cash stuffed. I'm going to move this over just a little because if I want to simultaneously add a little to my wallet, whatever I decide to add, I want to be able to do that. Okay. So for this week, we're each going to get 80 in our spending. And so I did 3 20s and 2 10s. Let's see. And that puts me at 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 180, 191, 192. So let's see. What do I want to take with me? I'm doing really good at like not spending. I am going to take the ones with me because if I do wind up spending, like what I like to do is I keep changing my wallet, and a lot of videos that you guys watch, probably from the various YouTubers that you watch, they like empty the change from their wallet. And while I do save my change, I like to keep some in my wallet because if my total, for example, today my total was like $8.16, I gave them $10.16 so that I can get $2 back. I just would prefer to do it that way so that I'm dealing with like just my dollars, the bills. I don't know. Does that even make sense? All right. So let me take the not so nice 20s. So I think I'll put 52. I'm going to take 52 with me. Okay. So if you have an A7 wallet like I do recommend folding your money as such. I guess that would be what called a quarter fold versus a half, just to prolong the life of your envelopes. And I don't mean just for like my envelopes, the ones that I make and create, but I mean for all of them, just because you want it to, and I like to like crease it there. I don't know, I want them to last longer, so I just do it that way, and I do recommend that, especially for the ones from my shop. I just think it would prolong the life of them. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing for him, so 20, 40, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so he has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 160, 175, 176, 177, 178. Did I do that right? I think so. It is 11:55 p.m. It is nearly midnight, but I do have a full-time job. I had to drive my daughter to her grandparents, so I work with the time that I have. And this is the time that I have. All right, so for beauty, we are going to add 30 more. So I did 2 10s and 2 5s. Okay. So we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And I will be adding $30 more because, again, we budget $100 a month. But I just kind of broke it up with, between the paychecks. So I started off putting 40. Now I'm putting 30. And then either on the 15th or the 21st, I will add another 30. Just, I can't remember what check I designated that to be pulled from. So I'm going to take 30 with me. Let me take, the smaller denominations, because I know that if I can get to Trader Joe's tomorrow, we need facial moisturizer with sunscreen, and they have some that have the ingredients that I'm okay with us putting on our skin. They're not the only place that you can get ones that are on the healthier side, but I want to try this particular one out. All right, so dining out, we're going to add 150. So we're going to do 50, and then 20, 40, 60, 80, right? Did I do 4? Yes, and then 2 10s. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150. Okay. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 202. So let's see. It's going to be just me tomorrow. I'm going to take 22. I'm thinking I'm going to go to Rubio's. We'll see. But Rubio's sounds really good. I get their, what is it, their California bowl or Baja bowl with shrimp and extra lettuce. I don't know if you guys are even interested in knowing that, but I figured I'd share. I'm exhausted, so a little delirious here. All right, pets, we are adding another 50, so I think I did 2 20s and a 10. Okay. So we have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right. So I'm not going to put anything with me for pets. No, actually I'm going to. I can foresee my husband asking me to pick up some wet food for the dogs to help them stomach their medicine. Again, if you are not new here, you know both of my dogs are dealing with health issues right now. Okay. Kids. Why could I not think about what I was reading on these envelopes? We're adding 50. 2 20s and a 10. Okay. So now we have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 95. Okay. I'll just carry 25 on me. I don't really see a reason why I will need it tomorrow, because it's just me, but I don't know. Just to be prepared, but I don't want to carry everything on me. So I went to In-N-Out today just to grab some fries. I love fries. And I opened my wallet, and the cashier, they're younger. They typically are younger at In-N-Out. He was so impressed. He's like, your wallet is so organized, and it's so, like, I don't think he used the word beautiful or pretty, but it was like a word that would say that it's aesthetically pleasing to him. And I thought that was really cool to get a compliment. I didn't feel rushed, because I think that us as, those that stuff cash envelopes and are cash spenders, sometimes we feel awkward at the checkout stand, right? Like at the register, because we feel like rushed or whatnot. Don't ever feel that way. Clearly don't take up so much time if you don't have to, but at the same time, if this is how you choose to pay with cash, and you choose to have like 2 different transactions because you're pulling from 2 different envelopes, like, that is okay. No one is going to die if you have a second transaction. So just do your thing, and honestly, just breathe. Just breathe, and you will be out of there before you even know it. So we are going to add 30 to home. So I did a 20, and I believe I did 2 5s. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, and then 70. And again, same thing with this one. I will add 30 to it to make that 100. And I don't foresee a reason to touch home tomorrow at all. And I know that I made that toilet paper and laundry detergent purchase, so I'm not going to take anything with me. Okay. So date night is getting 125 added, but then I'm going to put some in my wallet for mine tomorrow. So I did another 100. I did 2 10s and a 5. That way, let me put this way. I have smaller denominations for a tip. I foresee mine being 100, maybe 110. It just depends. It is a gel pedicure and my dip, because these are like my nails, and it's dip. Oh, and I do my eyebrows. That's why. That's like why it kind of increased in price, and my eyebrows. So, gosh. But what if it winds up being more? I'll just pull it from my personal spending, because I want to save that 125 for Sky. Okay. I don't know why I'm overthinking this. I think it's the denominations that's throwing me off. Okay, I mean, if anything, she just hands it all to them and says, keep the change, right, for the tip. I think it was just the denominations that's throwing me off. All right, so I am set for my nails tomorrow. I love that. I love how that looks. Okay. I think we're good. My wallet is ready to go. I mean, that is like, look at that. I mean, that's bulky, but I also have all that change. But it's okay. But this is a chunkle. I love it. Look at that. It's so pretty. I know. I'm weird. I 100% know that. So let me put that to the side. And I think we are done. Okay, so we're done. I will film cash stuffing the 2 high priority envelopes that I'm scheduled to cash stuff this paycheck, and then since this is technically the August 6th check, we get to cash stuff the holiday binder, and that makes me so super happy. Let me show you. Okay. So I changed my dashboard to being the matte. It used to be the glossy, matching like the envelopes, but I decided I wanted to also offer the matte option in my shop, so I figured it would be good to make one, and then I fell in love with how it looks. I just think it looks really clean. So this is by far my, I mean, I love this. No, this is my favorite. Everything about this. But I love this. There's just something that's so magical about this. And it's not the binder, it's not the dashboard, it's the concept. It's the fact that we went so many years either having to borrow from family, well, I mean, not really borrowing because I was never really expected to pay it back. My parents have always been very generous in terms of helping me out when we were falling on hard times, but so borrow was probably that was not the right word, but also turning to credit cards and getting in debt to give our kids the holidays and the experiences that we wanted them to have, even if we couldn't afford it. Technically, we couldn't afford it. We made it happen though, because you do what you have to do, right? But I know that that was causing me to lose sleep at night. It was causing me very much unneeded stress, when really all I needed to do was to sit down and face my budget, face my spending habits, understanding why I felt the need to buy certain things. Was it based on an event that had happened in my life? Was it based on emotions? Was I spending more or less when I was happy or sad or angry or anxious? Because that is all, it plays a role. I can also tend to be a spender when I'm happy. I don't know why. Most people would tell you when they're upset, they will do some retail therapy is what they call it, right? They shop and it makes them feel better. But I can actually like shop because I'm happy. I think maybe it lowers your inhibitions. Maybe it's like the released endorphins and you almost feel like invincible. I think that's like comparable to what one experiences when they're like under the influence of like alcohol, where, you know, their inhibitions are lowered and they feel capable of doing things that they otherwise wouldn't do. So I think that that plays a role. So those are things that I had to really sit with and focus on and try to understand so that I can recognize it and, I guess you could say, detour. Give myself a little detour. Say, oh no, we're not going there. Now let's find an alternative. How can we express this joy that we're feeling or release this sadness or anger that I'm feeling without it impacting the bank, impacting, our finances. Once I did that, and I sat down and said, okay, what is my priority? What do I want to make sure I can fund for my kids, for our future? And holidays was definitely one of them. Christmas being our biggest sinking fund. We save $3,000 a year for that. I save more for that than I do any other holiday or any other high priority, except for like my pet emergency, home emergency, and car emergency. Obviously, we're trying to get to 3K, 5K, and 5K in those envelopes, and we've gotten there, and then we've had to spend it, and I'm going to talk about that in another video because I think it needs to be talked about, what I experienced, what I felt when that had to happen. But Christmas being the biggest one, we now have been cash flowing for the last, so we started in 2020, so 21, so 2020, 21, 22, 20, this will be our 4th year doing it. So that's just amazing. I've not gone into debt for any of those types of holidays in 4 years. That blows my mind. That is such a milestone, and I will, brag because I've earned those bragging rights. It's amazing. It's amazing what sitting down and facing your own stuff, and stuff's not the word that I said in my head, but facing it and dealing with it and what that does, how liberating that is, how freeing that is. It probably means the same thing, liberating and freeing. But again, it's 12:10. It's after midnight. It is officially Saturday. But I get to cash stuff this. And that brings me so much joy. So that will be the next video, which I will probably film tomorrow. And I will probably drop that one on Sunday. I'm hoping that this one I'll drop, I wanted to say tomorrow, but technically today, Saturday. So I'm going to make that happen. But thank you again. Thank you for hanging out and bearing with me. I know that I can tend to just talk, but there's just so much about this that I want to share, and I know that there's people out there that agree. Sometimes when I share things on Instagram, like I had a low moment when we had an issue with the car, and how many understanding, relatable, comforting messages I received was just so heartwarming and humbling. This community is amazing, and if you're new to it, welcome. Please stay. It's beautiful. And I hope that my videos in any way help you, or give you ideas or kind of spark that creativity, within your own budget. And if you have any questions, or if you want to just say hi or leave me words of encouragement, please do that in the comments. I need to catch up on those. I do my best. Again, I'm working a full-time job, and the kids and the Etsy shop and trying to film content and keeping up with my budget. So but for me, staying busy it's actually a trauma response, but it's how I've been functioning my entire life. So it is what it is. There's really nothing else to say about that. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna go to bed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.